Breaking news this morning, Jerry Westrom sentenced to life in prison. He is the Isanti hockey dad that was found guilty in the 1993 murder of Jeanie Childs in Minneapolis. Here's more from his hearing, as well as reaction from Childs' mother after the sentencing.
I talked to Jeanie the weekend that she was murdered. She had called me on a Friday and said she had an abscessed tooth and what could she do? I wanted to go there and get her and bring her home. She said, "Don't worry, I'll be okay." And I told her to go to the clinic and get some medication for pain. I talked to her Saturday. She was still alone. And, excuse me. And I never thought for 1 second that was the last time I would ever talk with her and say goodbye. I've waited so many years to have this end, and it's put my life through so much hell. And I just really feel I'll never forget and love her the way I always did. And I feel bad for my family and other families that are going to have to go through all of the process now of suffering over this. Something that should have never happened.
On June 13th, 1993, my parents sat me down and had to tell me something that changed my life forever. It flipped my world right on its head. From looking at the world with my freshly 9-year-old eyes, with hope and, thinking that it was a good place out there, the world suddenly was a darker, scarier place. I remember the knot in my stomach, crying so hard I couldn't breathe. And I remember her laying in her casket and me begging her to please just wake up. The effects something like this creates can be vicious. They affect you for an entire lifetime. To lose someone you love is a profound experience. The personal effects that I have are no contest to what I watched my family go through, especially my grandmother. She went for years to try and find answers, try and find peace for my aunt. Her loss has left us all with a gaping hole in our lives that can't be filled.
Well, I've seen two families throughout this case, throughout this trial, and that are experiencing a lot of pain and anguish. And I've seen your family with Ms. Westrom. They've been here every day supporting you. And it seems like you have led a very positive life for the last 29 years. And your wife and family have been here, and you clearly have a lot of support, and they love you. And it tells me that you touched their lives in a very positive way. And I'm well aware that this case doesn't just affect your life, but theirs too. However, you took Jeanie Childs' opportunity of a life. She was not able to continue to be with her family, to provide her love to her family, and she was deprived of receiving that love. You took that away from her 29 years ago. And now the law demands that you face our state's most serious consequence. And at this time, the court is going to impose the following sentence. You, Jerry Arnold Westrom, having been convicted by a Hennepin County jury of first-degree murder as to count 1, you're hereby committed to the Commission of Corrections for a term of life, pursuant to Minnesota Statute 609-185, the statute in effect in June of 1993.
I'm happy I'm happy, and I know that Jeanie will always be in my heart. She was always afraid I was going to try and investigate on things because I never let anything sit. And I'm happy now that he's going to get his justice. I just feel bad that his kids got to go through this too. And the worst part is that when my daughter was murdered, I was doing home care. I was doing hospice. And that's when I found out my daughter was dead, is that I saw on the news the building that she lived in. And here she was, they were carrying my daughter's body out, and I didn't even know until I called the coroner's office and found out that it was her. And it has not been life very good since. I miss her. She's supposed to be there for me when I get old, and she won't be. So all I gotta say, honey, is that justice has been served, and I'm happy about that.
Westrom's attorney says his client maintains his innocence and that they plan to appeal.